everything that you're looking for is inside of you. Um, I searched for love a lot and looked for it in the wrong places. And then, like I said, like just becoming more aware of myself and becoming more connected with the energy. And like, I realized that I am love and I'm able to have love wherever I go because I create it.
Hey yo, G Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G Dash Jones. Woo! You know what you're watching. Yes, I'm starting off with jazz today. Smooth sounds, the vibes, if you will. Uh, by the name of Gentle Jones is opening up right here. See, that's you know what you're watching. This is Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. Woo! Hold up. Give me a little bit more. Skirt! Woo! Listen, that was Gentle Jones. When Giants do battle on all your DSPs. General Jones featuring Woes, something like that. Either way, just look up General Jones and you gonna see who you're looking for. Uh, Again, when Giants do battle off of his album Delaware Druids, go on stream that today. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Shouts out to him. Again, this is Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. Oh, when we talk flavor with the taste makers. Okay? When we talk change with the change makers and we get the keys from the gatekeepers. That's a fact. Today's guest, woo! The phenomenal, the amazing. Right? No. When I say not just an artist, okay? Not only does she teach art, she also, there she go. You see what I'm saying? Like, she know what she being spoken about, and then she just pop up on screen. You see what I'm saying? That's who she is for the people, okay? Yes. Oh, man, in case y'all don't know, I'm talking about she owns and sells not just her own art, but others, right? Others, right? Okay, we're not done, right? I know what you're thinking. I ain't even said her name yet because we're not done yet. Okay. Also, when you think Art Battle Philly, right? That's her. Okay, right. And this is gonna be Art Battle Wilmington. Guess what? That's her too. I'm talking about Miss Kim Lucas. People, Kim Lucas Art. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Another day in paradise. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So I am Kim Lucas.
Mhm.
I am a hospice nurse by trade. I've been a hospice nurse for 18 years, and I started doing art when I was getting my degree. I had to have an elective, and I chose art on a whim, and I kind of fell in love with it. And then, yeah, and then just kept with it, and here I am now. I have four boys, which I do try to involve in some of my events. They come to the art battles, they come to some of my vending events. But yeah.
So listen, I don't know when you sleep. There's a lot. A lot going on there. Okay, because it's like
Yeah.
three businesses. It's a happening. And, you know, the hospice nurse is a demanding position and job as well. It's a lot of things. Like how do you find time for you?
Well, art is for me. Um, like that is, I would tell people that's my therapy. Like, especially um if if I'm not stressed out doing it. Like sometimes I'll be making stuff just to meet a deadline. But if it is like it's still enjoyable, but it's not as enjoyable as it's like just to relax and to make something. Like um we have an event coming up, the Ladybug Festival, and I just picked up a giant canvas from Amy Nitchman, and I've already planned it in my head. I'm gonna take it to my backyard, and when it's a nice day, and I'm gonna paint it outside, and that's gonna be me time.
I know that's right. Okay, I get it. I like how you made your hobby your me time, or really your work essentially became your me time. Now let's back up, right? Let's get to your journey into art, because you started art. You like, so in school and all of that, prior to having to pick like an elective, it wasn't a thing for you, and then you kind of picked it. What made you draw to it so much, do you think?
I like when I was growing up, I did like drawing. I always would get like the drawing and paint sets. But then yeah, when I was looking at the electives, I was one of them was drawing and painting, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool." And then when I did it, I was like, I'm not that bad at this." Like, and I still have one of the paintings that I did. It was like a still life pear and an apple, but that just like reminds me like going through school, and that was when I was getting my master's degree. So that was only like 10 years, no, not 10, maybe 15 years ago. Um and um yeah, once I got my degree, I still didn't really get into art that much. I started watching people on Instagram, and that's when I actually found somebody that is on Australia, and she's obsessed with mandalas. Like, and then that's when I started like being really attracted to them. And then I didn't put it together until way later when I was like meditating, and I'm like, this is all connected. Like, there's a reason I'm attracted to mandalas. There's a reason why, like, all of this happened. Um, so I started off with taking screenshots of her mandalas and like copying them. And then now I've grown to where I'm able to just make my own mandalas, obviously.
Okay, now just so in case the people don't know, right? Um, in case you're watching this, you aren't aware, Mandela's, you thinking Nelson. She does not do cloning, right? She don't just make her own Nelson Mandela in the backyard. That's not how this works. The Mandela effect. She just don't just be changing history. She don't do that. But if you look on her wall right behind her, that is a Mandela.
Yes.
Um, yes, it's like this spherical. What is it in your brain? Like, to your knowledge, what is it?
It's a geometric pattern that, like because I also do mandala painting classes where I teach people how to paint mandalas because it is very relaxing. It's very meditative. It's very therapeutic. Sorry. Um, but as I'm teaching them, I also researched it, and it is used in a lot of religions, especially like Buddhists use mandalas, and they, for same reason, to meditate. And then there's some religions that even just make them on the ground out of sand, just because it is the process of making it. And then once it's done, they just sweep it away because it's like just making it is very repetitive. So then you get into this kind of trance like state of mind where you're just, and to me, I just go off. And it's good because then I just need that for myself, especially like I said, being a hospice nurse and a mother of four. I need that for myself. So I feel like it's very beneficial. So that's why I like to teach people, because I feel like it could benefit other people too.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what's awesome about that so much to me is, right. So last month I had Aleem on here, right? Very different artist, right? He paints every day, but it's very different in what you get from him versus Elize, right? Versus, like, it's just to talk to you all and have and understand that what you're doing and the purpose behind it. When you're painting these mandalas, it's literally you're meditating while painting,
Mhm.
which to me feel like my brain says if I start meditating while I paint, this is going to go somewhere. Like, I'm just going to be over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I get it. Like,
Yeah.
it's more of the repetitive nature that you're locked in. At that point, you're not going to go off script because you're locked into the thing.
Right.
So you're holding painting classes that are also meditation
Mhm.
moments.
Yeah. Like I've
Wow.
linked up with some yoga instructors. Shout out to Ruby. And did like I've done one so far, but I that's a goal of mine is to do more of those where it's like a event where you do yoga and then you do mandala painting, and we also did some elevation. So it was elevate and create. So we had some, we dabbled some
Yeah,
too.
I can see that. I can see that. Shouts out to the Global Cannabis March.
Yes.
So, but so now I'm curious in that space. So you said that it hit you. You're like, wait, I like these Mandelas. That's not an accident. There's a purpose for all of those things. What was the purpose for all of those things for you? Like, what was that awakening or understanding?
But that's like I started to meditate, and it wasn't until 5 years later that I was like able to actually meditate and have that connection with the like whatever higher being it is. And that's when I was just like, oh, okay. And then that's when I was like, this makes sense. It's, and one of the things like as I was meditating, that I like recognized or thought or heard or whatever was it's all connected. And that's one thing is like it was all it was all connected. Um yeah, for sure. And just like that's just I I haven't done many classes because of our battle, because that's like that just got me to where I am now.
Got you.
Hmm.
Got you. So okay. So the being in the meditative space and being able to create art, what was the thing that said that made you say, you know what, I do kind of, even though you haven't done many classes, what led you to say, I do want to teach this? Like, how'd you get into even thinking that you wanted people to be in a room with you while you did it? And
Oh gosh, I think that like one of my girlfriends might have even said like that she wanted to learn how to do it. But then, like I said, like for me, I feel like it's really beneficial. Like, um, even meditating, and like I said, like it took me years of meditating before I was able to like really deeply meditate. But I just feel like it's really beneficial for people, like that connection um and having that, and then like even if it's not meditative, it's still creating something, and it's still I think very relaxing. Like I've had some people come to my class because I don't give out rollers, so that's one thing. But I'm like, but wait, even though we're not using a roller, it's still going to come out beautiful. And people are surprised because they're just using whatever they can to measure to make sure it's even. But I'm like, just throw anything that you want it to be perfect out the window. Because some people are like, it has to be lined up and blah blah blah. But then after they realize, like, hey, this is this is supposed to be a relaxing time. It's not meant to be like fixated on the measurements and stuff. It's just to teach you the basics of how to do it. So that way, hopefully, you'll continue doing it. I've had a few people too, like come back to my class a few times, just because of that experience and they like doing it.
wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. It's probably hard. It's the same equivalent of the time it takes to meditate and get used to meditating and be comfortable, right? Because but it's the same in the painting of the Mandalas because you're painting it in their brain. They're like, I gotta get this right. And you're like, no, you don't. But no, but
Exactly.
it's not going to be wrong. That's fine.
Right.
You're not in theory when they're in your class, they're not painting your mandala. They're painting theirs.
Yeah.
So there isn't, which is a hard concept to
Yeah.
wrap your mind around with doing somebody else's picture like that. They're really, you have to be tuned into themselves, or it allows them to tune into themselves to do it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's really cool too. Like, because all the classes that I've had, like everybody's is different. I give everybody the same instruction, but every single mandala comes out different and unique and beautiful. Like it's really cool.
so what inspires yours?
Mine is I used to look at different patterns and think about this is what I want to try to integrate into the mandala I'm making. But now, especially like I just finished my biggest one. It's on the ceiling of my bedroom. It's on my Instagram if you want to see it. But like that, I just didn't look at anything and just like went as I was going. And that's how I like to do it now is like don't have anything in mind, but just let it flow.
Wow. So you're essentially motivated by your own spirit or by like that third eye vibe, essentially,
Right.
is what you're motivated.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, again, if you're watching this, you don't know, this is Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. Uh, and I'm talking to the amazing Kim Lucas, who also not only does she produce Art Battle, she's Wilmington, Philly, co-owner of Chance Art and Vintage, an art teacher, and a visual artist, mother of four, hospice nurse, all the things. You name the thing, then add some things to it, and then you get to where she's at. Okay, now, okay, so now, and as I'm thinking about this, right, and even getting into this whole space of this, like being able to be in the flow state, right? Because that's what it is, right? That's what they call it. They call that the flow state of when you're not you're doing something with removal of your consciousness. You're able to just do it, all right? And you're in this world, and you're like everything connects, which it sounds like one of them things. It's all connected, and they're like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "It's all God." Like, don't worry about it. It's not for you. You'll
Right.
learn later. And I'm saying, but then you've been in this art world for so long. Was there a moment when you said, "Oh, this is my calling. I'm doing. This is what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is really my other purpose." Or do you feel like you haven't necessarily found that moment?
Oh, um, I think that with doing our Battle Philly, like, and
Mm.
the responses and things that I've gotten from the artists and the appreciation and the love and like just even being in art battle, I don't think you've ever been to one, but it is a vibe. Like it is very high energy, which like it's just a very creative space and being around all those creative people, it's like so like uplifting and happy. It's I tell people it's like my natural high. But that's when I was just like, this is I'm supposed to be here. Like I'm supposed to be doing this. And it's creating this for other people too. Like I'm obsessed with it. I love it. But to hear that other people love it too and what they get from it as well, like that's like what I just that's the moment for me.
Okay, so let's go there. How did you? All right, so Art Battle Philly first, right? How did that happen?
It's so funny because every art battle Philly, I was like, I'm gonna tell the same story every time because I just like to tell people why it started. So I took a trip to Seattle and I was looking for something creative to do. So I looked up local art events and there's Art Battle Seattle. Art Battle is like international. They have it in like Hong Kong and Amsterdam, but I went to the one in Seattle, and like I said, this it's just like such a cool environment, and it's very fast paced. They have a DJ playing. It's just like fun, and to watch these artists create something in 20 minutes. And mind you, I've been watching it for a year now, and I still have not even tried to paint something in 20 minutes because I'm like, I don't know that I could. I know I could, but it's like I haven't tried. But just to watch these artists and what they're capable of, I was just like, I want to be part of this. I like want to see when the next one is. I want to go to one closer to me. So I'm looking, I got to the airport, went on the way back, and I'm looking, and I was like, the closest one to us, I live in Delaware, but Philly is like my favorite city. And the closest one is in Pittsburgh. I was like, that's unacceptable. So I actually wrote them, and I was on the phone with the president the next day of Art Battle, and I was like, I want to do this. And so I took that trip in January and then I started Art Battle in May, in Philly. Yeah. So it's been a year, since it's been in Philly now.
Mm. So, what was it like to try to organize it?
Crazy, anxiety provoking, because Um, as much as I probably don't show it now, but like I'm a very shy person. I'm very anxious person. Like, um, I was just telling my boyfriend the other day, I was like, I grew up not even wanting to order food because I was nervous to talk to people. So I actually had to go to therapy to like be able to talk to people for Art Battle because I was so nervous, and especially like trying to find sponsors and asking people for money and like asking people to like you and asking people like I don't want to ask people for anything. Like, so that it was very nerve-wracking. And then also like I live in Delaware. So going to Philly and trying to meet artists. So I did a lot of online research. Like I did a lot of like looking for artists, Philly artists online. That's how I found a lot of, well, even the host now is Seuss. I found her, she was one of the first people that I was like, I love her. So I met her on Instagram before I even met her on Art Battle, but she was one of the first people to compete, one of the first artists. And then she just progressed to be a friend and the host now. But yeah, it was crazy to begin with, and then now it's like looking back, it, it was wild then.
Okay, so let me get this straight, right? January, you go to Seattle.
Hmm.
By May, you don't, you don't, you didn't start it in the whole art. You don't went to therapy. You got sponsors. You built a
Yeah.
Rolodex of poets that are, I mean, of artists that are out of state.
Yes.
Okay, got a host.
Yeah.
Okay, and the venue
Yeah.
because that's a whole other thing.
That was
Like,
the other thing too, is trying to find a venue. That was hard, but luckily, after like a couple months of searching for a venue, I found out that Spin is actually partners with Art Battle. I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me this until I reached out to one of the other? I actually reached out to the Seattle Art Battle producer, and I was like, I need help. I can't find a venue. And she was like, is there any spins in Philly? And I was like, actually, there is. So when I went to spin, the manager was there, and he was like, I've been to Art Battle. Yeah, let's have it here. And it just turns out that spin is like a very artsy place as well. It's a ping pong place, but they move away the tables, and it's like you have to go down into the basement to get there. and all the walls have graffiti on them. Like it's just a cool place. So I lucked out for sure. But it took me a little while to find it. But then Irina came along, and she's amazing. You know how she is. If she wants to do something, she'll find a way to do it. And she's like, I want to do our battle in Delaware. And I'm like, well, I need a venue. And she found the Opulent for us. So,
Wow. Shouts out to Irina for that. Yeah, because listen, she hit me up. Listen, hey, listen, I need you to come through and do your thing. We got a host, but just come through and do your thing.
yes.
And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna be there. My brain was like, wait, they're in a circle. They're all painting. Now, question. So let's talk about this. All right, at the art battle, right? You're gonna have. So well, let's let me before I even go there. Then in Wilmington, right? What made you say we could do this in Delaware? Like, what made your brain say? Because a lot of times people
I
think that it could sustain there, it could sustain here.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, Irina, like, she was just like, we have to do it. We have to. She hasn't been to the Philly one because it's like, and Delaware, some people from Delaware, it's like a lot to get to Philly. For me, I'm there twice a week. But for some people, it's like the traffic or the parking or the city, like, and it's a little ways to get there and like having a car, transportation. So, um, yeah, and I like am connected to a lot of the Delaware artists from doing events in Delaware, and some of them haven't been able to come to the Philly one. And I'm like, I want you to be in our battle. So now, finally, that it's in Delaware, now I'm able to say, you don't have an excuse. Now you have to go. And so, like, Laura is one of them that's competing in May that we've been wanting her to compete. But we have four artists actually that have competed in Philly that live in Delaware and are competing in the Delaware one, the first Delaware one. So like K.O. Sims, Amy Nitchman, Gabrielle Bradley, and Jen. She so we have four artists that have already done it in Philly that are coming back to Wilmington.
And how many artists total are a part of the Women's Summit?
So it's always 12 artists, but I only choose 11 because that night of the event we choose a wild card. So when people get there, they can put their name in a hat. And yeah, and every month the wild card has been so talented. It's like, did you plan this? Like, did you practice? What? Did you come here wanting to paint? But yeah, so you can if you weren't selected, that's what I say, like, because it's hard to select all these people. I'm like, if you weren't selected, just come and put your name in the hat and hopefully you'll get picked. So it's always 12 artists, and it's six artists in the first round, six artists in the second round, and two artists from each of those rounds go to the final round. So it's four in the third round. And the audience, when they come in, they get a QR code and they vote for who they think the winner should be of each round on their phone.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's dope. So
Yeah.
it's 3 rounds,
Yes.
20-minute rounds.
Yes. Yep.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And that QR code also takes you to the auction because all the art that's created that night is also up for bids too. And they start at like $55. So if you like something, you can go home with a nice piece of work for a lot of times cheap.
That's dope. It's
Yeah.
literally it adds an element of like it's a layered space, right? So somebody can come and they can just enjoy kind of the music, the vibe, all the energy, or somebody can put their name in the basket and wind up painting and being a
Yeah.
part of that world, right? Somebody just might like the competition of the paint. Somebody might like or you coming in there trying to figure out what you're going to purchase, right?
Right.
So many different elements kind of tied into it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to. I'm gonna be there at some point. I don't know. I'm gonna do a poem to these live paintings. Okay, I'm gonna get the spitting
Yeah.
to whatever the art is in a circle. I don't know. This feels entertaining. I feel energy. I don't know why. It's gonna be interesting in my brain to do this. But I think that this is an awesome thing that kind of creates a whole new spin on live painting, right? I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah. And
which is the next level. So, oh wait, so you haven't actually competed in one yourself?
mm-mm. Nope. I was the featured artist one month, so that's what I was going to say is every month there is a featured artist who gets to paint throughout the whole show, and that is the winner from the previous month. So like this month it was Jared Jackson. He won for Philly, so he's going to be coming back in May to do. And they also get, I say, choose whatever size canvas you want. So you can do a really big canvas. You can do little ones, but like for Wilmington, since we didn't have, since this is the first one, Manny Ramos is going to be our first featured artist. So I haven't competed, but I was the featured artist when one of the winners couldn't make it to the next month. So I was like, I'll do it. So I painted a mandala during our battle.
It actually makes sense why you're not in it though, because of what you just generally what you paint. What you paint
Right, right.
um, is not. It's not. I won't say it's not for that purpose, but it's not meant to just be. Not just. It's not meant to be in a high octane thing. Like you paint more meditatively to with your art versus I look at this like a poetry slam in my brain. Like
Yeah.
this is they coming
Or
in.
like a rap battle. That's what
Yeah,
everybody
like we
else
coming in hot.
can
Like
do.
what? Hit the button. I
Yeah.
already got some paint on the brush. Hit the
Yeah.
button. Okay,
Yeah.
like let's
Yeah.
go. Um,
Well,
so
I specialize in mandalas, just but I do paint other things.
so do
Yeah,
like what?
I paint all types of stuff. I have my latest thing is I like to do animals. So I paint the animal, but then I like to incorporate nature into it too. So I put like dried flowers and I make a flower crown. Um, so I did a raccoon and then I did a fox and then I'll do another one too eventually. I also like to do, it's like flower prints where it's like lots of leaves and leaves and flower. That's another thing that I like to do too.
Absolutely. So primarily like nature based energy.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope.
Um, but like tomorrow at Glimmer, I was like, I want to do something different because have you heard of Glimmer? Do you
I've
know what a
never heard of
glimmer
it.
is?
Mm-mm.
So, I heard of it like a year or so ago, and Irina is leading this, and she has heard the word glimmer, where it's like, it's just something mostly in nature that like catches your eye when you're not expecting it and just brings you like joy or happiness. So a lot of times, like for me, it's if I walk outside and I see like that my flowers are blooming or something. Or sometimes it's weird, but like if the glare hits a certain way, then I'm like, it makes me feel like connected. So it's also described as like something that you see that makes you happy and feel connected. So I decided to make a collage of different things that can be considered glimmers. Um, but yeah, it's just like little spurts of joy that you might be able to find.
That's dope. I'm here for it. As you may know, because I do the art loop
Um,
every month. So
yeah, so at the one um oh my goodness, Chris, think,
Tris White.
yeah, Chris White's gallery
Yeah,
last month. Yep.
yeah. So we actually travel with. So there's a shuttle that travels with the art loop. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that like goes to different galleries, and we travel with the shuttle. It's two shuttles. We've pretty much picked one, and we wind up behind it or on it, and stopping at these art houses, and then similar. So when I met you, right, is what I posted yesterday. I think when I did a spoken word poem that like tied together the feeling of yours and Irina's, which is dope because at that point it was a Mandela, and it was, I don't know what to call hers. I don't know what they're called. It's a thing. It is a pattern. It's a pattern in a similar way, but
Uh-huh.
very different in its own right. Um, and literally, I was just conveying the emotion of these two paintings that lived in a very similar space, but a
Yeah.
different. So like now that you tell me that, and that Starbucks is on the Art Loop list. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that we get to stop there. I would love to wind up being able to come in there and do my thing as well
Yeah.
to the glimmers, right? To the glimmers. Okay. Let's talk about
Yeah,
some
yeah, we
joy.
have a lot of good artists that are going to be there tomorrow. And then, as you mentioned, Amy, she's going to be at a different gallery tomorrow.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. Amy's at MKT place with the Bloom exhibit. So yeah. Yeah. This art loop got a lot of art. This
yeah,
is, that's one of the weirdest things to me that I've noticed, and this takes me well, you'll see. It's like Delaware, oddly enough, especially Wilmington, there's a lot of art houses and a lot of artists, right? People would never guess how full, like the amount, there are pockets of artists, like that just are
yeah,
in groups in different art houses and all types of things um, that work together. What do you think makes it so that the artists can work together so well here?
you broke out right when you were asking the question.
Oh, well, what do you think makes it so the artists can work together so well here?
Um, I think that it is just the artists, like the group that we have. Actually, we had our little group go down to Norfolk, Virginia, uh, because we just show up for each other, and I think that we support each other and love each other and care about each other. But also, like, I am super excited to get to know more people, like in Delaware and Wilmington, and like, because I know my little group, but aside from that, I hopefully will be meeting a lot more people with these, with the art battles coming up.
I'm sure you will. I mean, yeah, I think because this is only the beginning of it, and also what made me think of it is because so you also are a co-owner of a Second Chance Art and Vintage, right? Which does also sells art. How did you wind up getting into selling that
That's
into that space?
yeah, that's so I had Kim Lucas Art, and I've had Kim Lucas Art for 2 years now. I started my business, and my boyfriend and I started dating like 7 months ago, and he was selling vintage clothing. And I was like, you're selling vintage clothing and I'm selling art. And we both like doing vending events, like vendor events. And we are very like-minded with, and we just mesh very well. So that's why we started the business where it's Second Chance Art and Vintage, where the whole name is like, because we upcycle stuff. So my dining room table right now is full of, I get trinket trays from the thrift store, and then I put pressed flowers in them and fill them with resin. So that's one of the big things I do. And then I also get like mugs and containers from the thrift store and make candles. So I upcycle stuff, and then he does his, but he also, not just like with vintage clothes, he loves to like um to put different designs and things on clothes as well. So even the shirt that I'm wearing right now, Like I made this shirt. Um, and what we started to do is actually make them for Art Battle. So when you come to Art Battle, you're going to get a shirt that is made by us because we will thrift them and then we just like make Art Battle Philly shirts, but now we're going to have to make Art Battle Wilmington shirts.
Wow. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
y'all have your own creative battle at the crib. Like y'all at the house, like, hold up, wait, hold on, give me a
We
mug
have
real quick. Watch what
every
I do.
room in our house is like a different craft station going on. He's in the garage. I think he's like doing his shirts right now in the garage. But yeah, it's fun because like and then also the kids also like will walk in and want to help out and stuff too. So
That is
it's nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, that's dope. All right, so now this has been a great conversation. Now, one of the questions that I ask all my guests here, and I'm curious what you say. Uh, if you had to give advice to your younger self, right? Um, just the youthful K dot, you was just little Kimmy, around. Uh, but the younger version of yourself is in 2025 with all of the 2025 things.
Oh,
What advice would you give to a younger you in 2025?
oh gosh. I I would give myself the advice of everything that you're looking for is inside of you. Um, I searched for love a lot and looked for it in the wrong places. And then, like I said, like just becoming more aware of myself and becoming more connected with the energy. And like I realized that I am love and I'm able to have love wherever I go because I create it. So that's what I would probably say to myself because I was a sad little girl. Like just yeah. I, I wanted to be loved and now I'm extremely happy and loved.
Right. But and you found it from you wanted to finding it from searching inside yourself as opposed to looking for an external version of this thing.
Right.
Shouts out. Listen, and about somebody need to know that. That's why I do that question because there is somebody uh that's not they're not even a younger version of you. They're just regular that need to know that. That's one of them ones. Okay, that's somebody needs to understand it's already in you. Okay, now what you should know, and thank you, wise words from a great woman. I appreciate you. What I will say is, I tell people if you give me a word, I give you a poem. But before you give me a word, I do what I like to call a quick hat tip. Blip, blip. I said a quick hat tip. Blip, blip. This is when I show some gratitude and show some love to some people or some things that happened that were pretty dope. So let's talk about it. A quick hat tip. Blip, blip. Quick hat tip. Blip, blip. Oh, first one goes to Open Streets. Last weekend, there was a situation called Open Streets. They was outside. DJ Tim Dog, shouts out to him. Shouts out to uh, Vanity Constance, absolutely. Shouts out to her. Everybody from within the Urban Bright Project partnered with West Side Grows together. They did this whole outside like block party to show off the stuff. Shouts out to Star Wilson. She was on my show talking about it before. So everybody who's a part of Open Streets making it a phenomenal effort, even when it looked like it was going to rain, but it didn't rain enough. Shouts out to them. They get a quick hat tip. I'm not sure if you know about Open Streets. You get a chance. Great place for you to vend. You would enjoy it, and you can have the kids.
Oh,
I'll send it to you. Don't worry about it.
okay.
Okay. Also, a quick hat tip. Blip, blip. Quick hat tip. Blip, blip. Two. Oh, Tracy Curry. Dr. Tracy Curry. Dr. Tracy Curry had an event over at the Bridge Art Gallery. Shouts out to the Bridge Art Gallery, where it was a spoken word event. She had it was probably about 6 or 7 of us just in the list. We went up there, we did 2 pieces each. It was like the energy was flowing, and then it was an open mic. it was a great moment for spoken word and poetry uh, during the during National Poetry Month. So I don't know if you know about the Bridge Art Gallery yet, but go ahead, get yourself familiar to one of the newer galleries in the city. So hopefully,
Writing it down.
yeah. Hopefully you get to bump into them a little bit, okay, because they trying to do some things, and like I said, I had a great time there. Also, had tip blip blip the Lyric Lounge. My man Shannon Lowry, it was an event, right? I don't know if you into the it was D Harv and Harvey Road. They was a listen rocking. Well, it wasn't Harvey Road. It was D Harv and Soul Synthesis, the band. They was up in there. It just felt good. Okay, I listen. I don't know. You should go and stream D Harv and Harvey Road. But they was up there feeling good. Shouts out to them. They had Ann Latrice from Best Kept Soul. She was up in there singing with the vocals. Had doing her new single rocked out. Again, 3G Management took care of the whole thing. There was an artist by the name of that Philly John. She sang as well. It was just a dope vibe. Great, feel good for the soul. If you like the good R&B, and with a hip hop flair, Darnell Miller was hosting with Latoya Marie. It was just a lot of good soul energy in there. So shouts out to them. Quick hat tip. Also, quick hat tip. Blip blip. Hat tip. Blip blip. The Academy for Peace. Yes, Academy for Peace had a poetry panel to close out. Uh, the close out the poetry month, right? I've never seen a poetry panel, right? I feel like you should do an artist panel one day. I don't know where they're coming from, but we was talking about like it was like six of us there. We was all lined up. Shouts out to David Harris. Literally, we was talking about the business of poetry. Most of them came from Philly. I was the only person who
Oh,
was born here that was doing. There was some. Don't get me wrong. Shouts out to Ambition the Poet, Marquita Wrights, LaShawn Janelle, KP. I think I named everybody, and my man DSP stands for Do Something Positive. Okay, but all of them were there. They just not born in Delaware. I'm bred here.
yeah.
Shouts out to my parents. That's where they made me. So so we was up in there literally breaking down kind of the not just the business of poetry, what it's like to get into it. You know what it's like as an artist when you don't often get to sit and talk to artists about what it's like to be in these spaces and how you get in these spaces and what's the ills of dealing with these spaces. So that was dope. It was curated by Dr. J, and shouts out to her and David Harris. So definitely gotta give a hat tip to them. Blip, blip. And last but not least, a special hat tip to you for being such a phenomenal guest here. Blip, blip. Yes,
Oh,
Miss Kim Lucas for giving me such a dope interview, as well as doing things that actually pour into the art scene, right? Because that's what makes it so fire, right? It's not just kind of about you creating what you create, but you trying to help other creators create in different
yeah.
spaces. Yeah, so definitely you deserve a hat tip. Blip, blip. Anybody you want to give a hat tip to?
Oh gosh, for you. Blip, blip. I don't have a hat.
Yes. Well, thank you. I ain't do nothing but ask you questions. So I'm here for it though. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Also, Irina, she's my heart. Like uh, she, like just always encouraging, motivating, and always high energy, always happy, always positive. Like, but also, she is the person that like I was like, dang, I want to be able to help artists like she does, and then now I'm helping artists like she does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
because she got a good heart. Like I don't know how the ventricles are set up in there, but her heart, that's a sturdy heart. She got a good sturdy heart. Okay, like it's
good
some
one.
good stuff. Because like she really does want like just other artists. Hey, come on, let's do it. Let's go. How can we make it
Yeah,
good? So,
yeah,
oh
for
man,
sure.
it's up to her. Yeah. All right. With that said, so do you have a word for me?
Um, I was thinking about it earlier, and I would say battle.
Okay. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Okay. So what if I don't compete? Like if I don't compete, but I still find ways to have to do that internally to find peace. See, this is when I'm searching inside myself to express the best way for me to reach that proper release. Sheesh. Sometimes the battle is internal for me. Sometimes the battle can come in ways that feels like the stroke of the pen may make sure that I can be open enough to reveal what's within. I have to seek what I need by looking inside of me. See, this isn't the type of battle where you have to fight. This isn't the type of battle where you might have to strike. This is the type of battle where you allow yourself to glow so you can allow others to see that internal light. This is the same one that will allow you to feel the brisk air while you allow it yourself to take flight. This is when you know that it's not about the pen that you use to write. It's about you understanding yourself and knowing your awareness can show you what's right. This is that light. See, this is what's inside of you. This is you knowing that you can glow the same as that candle so that your glimmer can make you be a winner without feeling like you are losing you. This is how you win versus you in that internal battle. Boom.
Love it.
Listen, when I clip this moment, I'm gonna add in the little like that was so TV-esque. Like that was like whole stress moment. That was beautiful. Oh man. Listen, thank you again for joining. This has been a phenomenal episode of Hats Off. Anything you want to say to the people before we get up out of here?
Our battle woman time. Woo, 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 woo.
Yes,
So
that,
excited.
that's
This
it.
this lineup already is it's gonna be good.
Yes. Where can they get their tickets?
Either artbattle.com or just go to Art Battle Wilmington on Instagram and it'll tell you all over there. Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
awesome.
There you go. It's at the opulent. I'll be there. You know, I'm gonna do what I just did, but to the art.
Yeah.
It's gonna be energizing.
Yes.
So thanks again. This has been a phenomenal episode. I appreciate you. As I like to say every time, love yourself and everything else will fall into place. I'll see y'all next week.
All right.